So, another thing that the government will do to make your life a living nightmare is they will compromise all of your neighbors and your friends. Like, for instance, in Las Vegas, when all this stuff started happening, and then I involved Samson Equities and they hired Elite Investigations, that's when my neighbors started waiting outside for me and putting me on their phones, like camcording me. There were always weird people walking up and down my neighborhood with dogs, people that I didn't recognize. I had a rash of break-ins. My soap was covered with other people's pubic hair. I don't have pubic hair. And it got really bad in Las Vegas. So that's when I, fled with my daughter and I to Ohio before I realized it was the feds, and I just thought it was the private investigation company. I didn't realize that they were connected. Then in Ohio, people were waiting for me. I fled for my sister, but they had already contacted my sister, the feds had, and that's when she took my daughter, with the feds telling her basically how to do it point by point. I moved in with a guy named Michael because I had to stay around to see what was going to happen with Eden when they first kidnapped her. And Michael had been contacted by the feds, and he knew really personal information about me that he never should have known. And he wanted me to put in this strange contraption in my room, and to plug it in or whatever, and it made these weird sounds, so I unplugged it. So that's Michael. I need to look up his last name because I want to have him testify. Then there was a girl that I work with at Centerfold Strip Club. Her name's Felicia. I moved in with her because Michael was like driving me nuts because I knew that something really weird was going on with him, and he knew all this stuff about me. So I was like, oh great, the cops or Elite Investigations, whoever the hell this is making my life a living hell. Michael's in with them, okay? So I moved out with him. I moved in with this girl, Felicia. Guess what? Felicia's sitting there on the couch, videotaping me with her phone, asking me all sorts of weird questions, being really, really, really strange, asking me what I plan on doing, what's going on, just on the phone, always on her phone and videotaping me. Like, I found it like 15 times. Every time I would look out of my window, when I was staying at Felicia's, there were black trucks sitting out in the parking lot with men inside of them. There were always people walking around my apartment with the complex with scent hounds and German shepherds and just the craziest shit. So then I left Ohio when everything was just going insane there, and I was like, this is horrible. You know what I mean? Like they're all like want to like pretty much kill me in Ohio. So then I went down to Florida because that's where I'm originally from, and I first stopped in Tampa. There they had me hooked up with this doctor named Dr. Pat Wilson, and he's a doctor, and so basically the cops hired him for me to go stay with him for free again. And Felicia, I didn't have to pay either. They both gave me the song and dance about rent, about why I didn't have to pay rent. They were both really strange excuses. When do you live with someone and you don't have to pay rent? I didn't have to pay rent at Felicia's, and I didn't have to pay rent at Dr. Pat's. And so Dr. Pat, I guess, was just sitting there because they're like, listen, if she starts acting crazy or whatever, you're a doctor and you're going to say the symptoms and you're going to put her in a mental ward. Well, the problem is that I'm not crazy and I don't do anything crazy. So I basically just sat in his house and did my thing and didn't do anything, and I watched some TV or whatever, and he got so frustrated with the situation, he's like, I can't call her crazy because she doesn't do or say anything crazy, and he just wanted me out of the house. You know what I mean? He's like, I don't want to be a part of this anymore with you guys. That was the doctor. He's like, I don't know what the deal is with you guys, but she's not what you told me she was, and now I just want her gone because I'm really uncomfortable about the situation. That was another house that I had to leave, okay, because of the feds' involvement, because think about how uncomfortable people are when they know that the police are watching me or the feds are watching me, and they have to be quiet about it, and they have to report back to them and send them videos and all that stuff. Who wants to be that person, okay? That's what I mean by not being able to get any place to live, because who wants to live with someone that they know are being followed by the cops? Do you understand? So I'm just getting increasingly fucking pissed off is what's going on, and I'm over it, and I am telling everything. And I am going to get these witnesses, okay, up on the stand, okay, and this is going to become a fucking major lawsuit, and it's going to go in all the news. So keep it up, motherfuckers.